Hi loves, welcome to another episode on my YouTube channel. For those that don't know me, I am Swazi or Tabila, depending which name that you prefer. And yes, man, welcome. Please don't mind me if I keep fanning myself. It is super hot today, or it's been this whole weekend. So yeah, hence why also I'm just going at it just barefaced because it's super hot and I can't put anything on my face more than I already have, because even right now, can you see how shiny I am? So yeah, you're just gonna have to deal. If you haven't seen me on my bare face, this is me. Now you have. Okay, so today's video is about, it's a story time basically, about my worst experience with a landlord in the UK, right? So yeah, this one needs me to eat. Like, I'm actually eating. This is pasta and tuna, pasta and bacon. Yeah, salad, pasta and bacon salad, and I have some Coke. And so basically, I'm just having lunch. But yeah, so let's get into this. So as most of you know, I moved into the UK 2019 September. Was going to uni, and then end of 2020, well, August 2020, I had to move out of my apartment to Gatwick. If some people know, it's close. It's close to London. It's not too far from London, but it's a bit of on the outskirts. So I had to move that side because I had found a job there. So basically, that meant I had to find a new place to live, right? So there are different apps or avenues for you to find a place or a flat to rent, but the most common ones would be your spare room. Like, that's the most utilized one, and I think I've been using that one for quite some time. Even if now I were to look for a place, I'd probably turn to spare room first. It's basically an app where landlords can put on their space, for example, as it says, spare room. So if you have like a room that you're not using, that you want to rent out, you put on there. Or even if you have a flat, or if you want to share with some people but you haven't found a mate yet, you can find people there, and then you guys can share the rent and the costs and all of that. It's a very convenient way of actually finding accommodation. The app itself is very simple. You go on there, put on your profile, say this is what I'm looking for and this is how much I'm willing to pay. And there's also listings on there, so you can contact the person that's posting. They tell you, good, see, this is what I want. And then if you guys agree, you can go view the place. They always advise for you to go view the place first and then get to meet the person that's living in there. Sometimes it's flat shares that have like 6 or 7 people in there, 5 or 4, like, depending, and it can be a mixture of females or males, but it tells you on the profile itself to say, okay, this is the flat, this is how many people are currently occupying it, this is the age range that we want, and this is the gender that we want. So if you are a person that prefers to live only with females, then you might be worth looking for apartments that only have females, or vice versa, if you're a male just looking for males. Generally, it turns out to be quite safe from my experience and from me using the app. But that's how I met my landlord, through spare room, right? So basically, I saw three or 4 flats that I liked. The first one, it was just one lady that was living on her own. She had a spare bedroom, but she could not find the time for me and her to meet. So I was just like, you know what, it's not going to work if we're not going to meet. And then the other one, I had to move end of August, right? So that lady was there. The second lady, I think her tenant was going to move out mid-September. Yeah, 2 weeks after September. But I really loved that apartment, and I spoke to her and she was like, well, there's nothing I can do. That's that. She's only moving 2 weeks in September. So if you want to move earlier, I can't do anything about it. I was like, okay, cool, fine. I was disappointed, but I was like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. And then excuse me. This third one, I should have gotten a bit of red flags now that I think about it. Yeah, this one it was a male. Well, the landlord was a male's profile, and yeah, they advertised. It wasn't like the best of places, but it was okay, and the rent was £650 a month, including everything. And okay, so it was a male. The landlord was male. I spoke to him. Blah blah blah. Turns out the wife's using the husband's account, so she's actually the one talking to me. But anyway, that's fine. I got there because I was really desperate. Like I was gonna move out in 5 days and didn't have a place to move to, right? So I was just like, okay, now I'm at a point where anything that comes, I need a place because I'm gonna be homeless if I don't find a place, right? So that's me, sort of hustling, trying to find a place. I went there, I saw the place. It was a bedroom, same entrance as the main house. So but it had its own small bathroom cubicle. It had its own small kitchen. So it was literally the kitchen and then the shower place, and then you move into the bedroom. There's the bed, and then there's a small station for cooking, and then there's a cupboard for putting your clothes on, and that's literally the whole apartment, right? I mean, I was desperate. It was not bad, and I liked the fact that it had its own shower and things, because to be honest, I have my limits with people. Like, we can interact, but when I zone out into my own space, I'm happy with having my own shower, my own kitchen, my own whatever, so that we don't have to fight about. And it's those little things that people fight about, to be fair. So when you're sharing with people. So yeah, I was like, okay, that's fine. And then the bed, because you're just looking at the bed, you don't view it. It was a double bed, guys. But hey, it was two single mattresses put together by a sheet, and if you're sleeping on the bed, you can actually feel where they separate. So if you sleep, you naturally gravitate towards the part where it goes down, where it sinks. So I'd sleep on the middle there, and it was so uncomfortable to sleep on, now that I think about it now. But when I was viewing the place, I mean, it looked fine, because you're not going to open the bed and just start checking things, are you? No. So, okay, fine, fair enough. And then they tell me that they don't need. Oh, I negotiate, because at that time I was also low on cash. I negotiate. I'm like, okay, guys, this is the amount of money that I have. I can pay half the deposit if you want, but this is how much I can pay. They're literally, okay, it's fine. You can pay that deposit. And I'm like, okay, so how soon can I move in? They're like, you can move in whenever. Basically, it's available now. I'm like, okay, cool. This is great. I found a place. I can move in, and it's not too far from the place that I was gonna work at. So it was literally like a 10-15 minute walk from there. All right. So I was like, okay, this is a win-win situation. And then also, just to tell you a little bit more about the family itself. So it was a family of 4, husband and wife, Indian British lady, and then a black British male. They had 2 kids together. The kids were still young. I think the other one was 4 or 5, and the other one was 6 or 7, right? A boy and a girl. So already anticipating what noise, because there's kids around. Okay. I come in. When I was viewing, I met the husband, yes, not the lady. The husband showed me around. He was very nice, and yeah, that's who I negotiated with. They even told me how to get around and all of that. Fine, fair enough. And then I move in. On the day of moving in, that's when I meet the wife. And then, yeah, she was very nice, to be honest. She was very nice. But I should have known, because she was asking me all these questions, like, do you have family in the UK? I'm like, No. Even though I've been advised by my boyfriend not to say I have, not to say I don't have family. But anyway, at that point, I was like, no, I don't have any family. She was like, oh, okay, that's good. Do you have any friends around in the area? I'm like, no, I'm new to the area, so I don't know anyone. She's like, oh, okay, that's good. She's like, yeah. So we don't allow visitors in the house. Like, no visitors at all. What do you mean no visitors at all? But I was like, okay, fine. Really, I don't know anyone in this area. I mean, okay. And then another thing which I found out, she was like, okay, so in terms of the laundry, you can only wash your laundry, or you can only use the washing machine once a week. So that's one load a week. Child. So, okay, that's a bit odd, but fine. I was like, okay, that's fine. It's not like I have a lot of washing anyway. I mean, I guess I can handle one load. And then, yeah. And then she was like, yeah, you can use our stuff. You can use the kitchen if you want. There's a microwave. There's what. So if you want, you can use that. I was like, okay, right. I'll use your kitchen, I guess. And Shem, on the very first night, she was nice. She actually saved me a plate of dinner because I came in like around 5 or 6 or something like that. So she was like, I'm pretty sure you didn't have time to have dinner, so here's food. And then I ate. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be nice. She's really nice. Auntie. Little did I know. So basically, this couple were having issues, marital issues. I think the husband was cheating or whatever was happening. So they would fight. And because of the walls are very thin. You can literally hear what's going on in the other room, you know. And I would hear them when they're screaming, because this lady was a stay-at-home wife. She worked for, I don't know what company, airline company, and then she resigned when they decided to have a family. So she's a full-time stay-at-home mom, and then the husband he works for the government or something of that sort, but she stays at home, okay? And then, yeah, they'd fight a lot. And I would hear these fights, and I was like, okay. And that brought up her cranky mood, because she was very, very moody and all of that. And I remember where we kicked off, like, where it was an issue was the fact that she did not want to hear she did not want to smell food when I was cooking. Okay, so this is what happened, right? So I had my own room and it had windows, yeah? So on those windows, you can see more when you're outside that they open or close or whatever. But in winter, it's really cold here. And I'd come back from work and I'd have to open the window, because literally the first thing that you do when you come back from work is like think, okay, what am I going to eat? What am I going to cook tonight? I'd open the windows, because I was like, okay, you know what? It's fine. I mean, I understand when you're cooking vele, and I mean, I don't want the moist of the food or whatever to stay stuck on the clothes. So just open the windows to get like air circulation and airflow in, which I didn't mind. But now, okay, one day I'm cooking. Like, you know how cold winter is. You'd open the windows, but obviously not all the windows, you know? So I'm busy cooking, and the windows are open. And she texts me, she's like, could you please open your windows, because I can smell food. I can smell what you're cooking. Like, yeah, we'd had this discussion before, but that day I was literally mad because, number one, it's cold. Number two, I've already opened the windows. So, and now you're going to complain. I'm like, Auntie, what is it? What is your problem? Literally, what is your problem? Because we live in the same house. I smell your food when you're cooking. I can smell it from my room, irregardless of you've got the window. And mind you, she doesn't open her windows when she's cooking, but I have to open mine. I think she didn't want to smell the food. And it's not like I was cooking like exotic food that like makes your stomach hurts or you want to puke when you smell it. It was just normal food. She was just cranky. So yeah. And then And then she's like, no, she starts acting very funny. I'm like, no, the windows are open. You are gonna smell some food at some point because we stay in the same room. I don't have control over how much the thingy goes up in your room. I don't have control over that. The only thing I can do is open my windows, and if you can smell it, you can smell it. Like, it's not a problem. And then yeah, I think she responded very rudely as well. And then I was just like, you know what, Mina, I've been patient with you, lady. So she had this diffuser, if you may call it like that, that they burn, and she placed it directly outside my door. So whenever she'd burn it, and this would be literally just after I finished cooking, she'd burn that thing at night, and it would literally come into my room first, because Bona, they sleep at 8, and then she'd burn the thing, and then they'd go upstairs to sleep. So I'm left smelling this thing, and I'm like, when are you burn your stuff, and you never hear me complaining, because I'm like, okay, that's what you do, and I live with it. And she's like, and I was like, I actually tolerate that, because I understand that when you're living with people, there's certain things that you don't like, but you have to put up with because the other person does. Oh, and she's like, I didn't know that you were tolerating me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, when I, what is the problem? Is it food? Is it me? What is it? What's your problem? So literally we're fighting over the fact that when I'm cooking, every time when I'm cooking now, the stress that I'd have coming back from work, I'm like, you know what, I'm not ready to get into the fight with this lady, because every time that I cook, I know it's going to be an issue. She's going to text, or she's going to say something, or she's going to try to do something. So after that incident, she took this diffuser thing. I need to the same room. So she took it from the front of the door of my door to the back of my shower, so that it still smells, because I complained. So she took it to the back, and it would literally come to my room. I'm like, okay, so this thing is aimed at me. So this diffuser is aimed for me. I must smell this thing. Hi, okay. And I'm just like, I don't understand you. And funny enough, because I'm a very patient and understanding person, I never even complained, because when they're having their deed, or they're doing their deeds at night, I could hear them, because the walls are so thin. I'd literally be up awake all night because they're busy having a good time. And I never even complained about that, because I'm like, okay, it's their house, let them do. Like, literally you could hear word for word like what's going on. Like oh my god, think about it now. I'm just like, but yeah, I could hear the cowboy theme thing going on there upstairs, and I never complained. So after that, our relationship was just very strained. She'd be very mean towards me, and funny enough, thank God, because I only agreed to stay there for like 2 months. And when I moved in, she asked, are you sure you want to stay for 2 months? The previous person that was here was stayed for like 2 years, and what I was like, yeah, I'll stay for 2 months. And that was before me getting to know the real rude side of her, like, because she was very rude, to be honest. And yeah, so I signed the contract for 2 months. And then remember that lady that said her other tenant was going to move mid-September? Immediately hit her up, Jay, when I could see you, would say, hit her up, went to view the place. She's like, yeah, you can come move in with me whenever you want. I was like, let me pay deposits, secured the place. And then the silly mistake that I made was that I moved in end of August, which would start the rolling month of September. So I was gonna stay September and October. So I paid the rent for September, and then when the month ended, because I told that lady I'm gonna move in October, end of October. But when October came, I paid my full rent to this lady. That was a big mistake, because now when I wanted half of it back, because I was like, you know what, I'm moving. I've had enough. Like, I'm moving. She did not want to give me half of it. I think I stayed 1 week in October with that lady, and she literally didn't want to refund me. And some of you might come for me and say blah, 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 blah. But guys, she still had my deposits, and which she didn't give back, because she gave me a long list of reasons why she's not going to give me my deposit back, because apparently it ruined her place, which is not true. But anyway, that was that. And then she took the rent as well. I was like, okay, you know what, it is what it is. And also, to be honest, when I was living there, because of the whole place, like it wasn't even a nice place to live in, to be honest, but I was so depressed. Like I was literally so depressed in that house. Like it would be the noise from the kids, you're coming back from work, the kids are noisy, the parents, you have to do, like, it was just like too much. It was too much. And then when I moved with the other lady, she was so nice. I stayed with her for like a year and a half or 2 years. A year and a half. Yeah, I think a year and a half. She was so nice. She was so nice. Like it was just the two of us and I have my own space. She wouldn't complain about me. Like she treated me like a person. That lady, I think she had some issues. I think she had some issues with either race or me as a person. But funny enough, I'm not gonna say race because she married a black guy, so can't be that. Oh, she was just stressed that his husband was cheating and her husband was cheating and taking up the frustration on everybody else, I guess. But yeah, something was off there. Something was pretty off. And when I'd hang my clothes on the guys, honestly, I'm allowed to wash once a week. Once a week. You know, she wash every day, Monday to Saturday, Monday to wherever. And then when I hang my clothes on the weekend, because obviously I work and the only logical time for me to do laundry is the weekend, she'd literally come to me and be like, so when are your clothes gonna dry? Like, when are you gonna take them down? And it's like, girl, you have all the time in the world to do your washing, to do your laundry. Like, you're living with someone. It's like you're living with someone, but you don't want to acknowledge that they're there. You don't want them to make their footprint in the house. You don't want to hear, listen to, there's a tenant, there's someone in this house, which is wild to me, because if you're a landlord and you're renting your space out, you should expect that the other person is also a person and they're gonna do things in the house. They're gonna, that lady Sham. Even at work, when I was telling them, they were like, they literally were so supportive and they helped me move out of their place because, hey boo, the devil level in the UK is on But anyway, that's the only like bad experience that I've had with a landlord, and it was probably because I didn't vet them enough or whatever, or I didn't meet her on the first instance, because when I went to view the place, the husband was there, the husband and the kids, and the wife was not there. Maybe that might have been the reasons, but overall, my other landlords have been, have been nothing but nice. Nothing but nice. And I've heard some people have like horror stories as well, but my advice is look at them properly before you move in. Check, because you don't want to be tied down to a contract to get 12 months and you're living in hell, because literally it makes mentally it messes you up. Because I saw this with myself as well when I moved up from the place and moved in with my very lovely landlord, Jenny. My mental health improved. Like I could see life in a different spectrum. I was free. Like I could, literally, I felt like the world was closing in on me. Like everything was just dull and just overall, or maybe I'm exaggerating here, but when I moved to the other place, I was just like, wow, it's so amazing what a place can do to you mentally. It's so amazing how a different kind of treatment does to you mentally. Because with my new landlord, she literally was just like, you know what, I know you're coming from a different country. That's another thing as well. She was so understanding of the fact that I'm not from here and I don't have everything or the necessary stuff or the support from family and whatever. She was like, you know what, you can use my pots, you can use you can use everything that you feel like you obviously take care of it like it's yours, wash whatever you've used, laundry, like everything. You can literally just use whatever you need and just let me know if you need more. She was literally like, do you need me to buy you bedding? Like, do you need me to, and I was like, no, it's fine. I have my own bedding. I have my own stuff. I've been staying on my own at uni, so I do have things that are my own. But she was literally so accommodating, and she wanted to make sure that I was okay. And throughout my stay, she made sure she checks like, are you okay? She made sure that she included me. Like me now, I have antisocial phases, so she'd invite me to her outings with her family. Like even for Christmas, she'd invite me over and just make sure that I feel like I'm included or I have family. And that makes a huge difference if you are a foreigner in a different country. Like it makes such a huge difference because you feel like, okay, these people care. Like I can literally, if anything was to happen, this person cares about me, then it's not going to be an issue for them to help me out. Because even when I was sick, Shem should take care of me, she'd make soup for me, and I was like, wow. I mean, also it goes down to the type of person that you are as well, I guess. And she was a very good person. She is a very good person, and even her mom. So, yeah, I think I'm rambling now a little bit, so I'll end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched until this point, so thank you so much. Bye.